What up, gang? Carolina Jackpot time coming at you on Tuesday morning. I hope everybody is doing good today. It's about 5 a.m. on the way out to get the work day started, and I wanted to jump on here real quick and talk a little bit of college football. But before we get started with that, I want to take this opportunity to remind everyone of the Rob and Kale Show live show. Callaway Sports Bar and Grill in West Columbia, South Kakalaka, on Highway 1, diagonally across from the Walmart. We're going to do that on Friday night, November the 28th, the evening before the South Carolina Clemson game. We're going to do a live recording of our show, do our rivalry week picks there. We'll also have a heck of a good time drinking some beer, participating in some contests. We'll probably have a raffle and most likely a trivia event, which we do every year. We have a good time down there at Callaway's when we go hang out on that Friday night before the Gamecocks square off with the Tater Shits from the upstate. Game this year might not be great, but I feel like we're definitely going to have a great time out there at Callaway Sports Bar and Grill, and the only way that we can make it better is if more of you come. So everybody's invited. Just realize if you don't drink, you don't want to drink, it doesn't matter. You can still come out there and participate and have fun. Nobody's going to shove a beer down your gullet if you don't want one. So please come out there and support the channel, support the show, and we'd really love to see and meet each and every one of you. Now, getting into the video for today, it's kind of weird, especially off of the heels of last year's success, to be sitting here 2 weeks away from the end of the regular season and seemingly nothing to play for, nothing to really be interested in. In fact, I don't think anyone out there would be upset if I packed it in and just said, hey, I'll see y'all next year, because right now, I don't know of a point in time when I have been so down and out on my football program. The plight of being a South Carolina Gamecocks fan is something that needs to be researched, definitely could be studied, but from the outside looking in, is something that in a weird way should be admired, because it takes a special level of it takes a special level of patience, I guess, to be able to put up with the same old seemingly every year, with the exception of some fleeting moments. Look, I've been watching a lot of different folks on YouTube give their takes on this situation Saturday. And I've gotten all kinds of comments. I've read all kinds of comments. I've responded to all kinds of things on Twitter and in the YouTube comment sections. I've fought with people. I've tried to defend my team. Not so much Shane Beamer, and we're going to get into him in a minute. Not so much defending him, but it's kind of trying to defend the honor of the program. And it's tough. It's a tough sell to do. I've had. There's just a lot of dum-dums out there. Just guys, there's just a lot of, I don't know how else to describe them, but they're just dum-dums. Just people who don't get a lot of things about college football. Well, A&M was just better. Okay, well, we understand that. They were better from the jump. That's why they were close to 3 touchdown favorites. Well, South Carolina just doesn't have the talent to compete. Okay, well, then how did they get out to a 27-point lead if they didn't have the talent to compete? They didn't finish. That's a coaching problem. And I'm not going to go to the levels of that I did a couple of years ago because I caught so much flack for it that I was not going to support the program until changes were made. This was back during the Marcus Satterfield offensive coordinator tenure. Okay, I'm not going to go to that level again because I caught so much grief for it. I mean, honestly, was it a bad look? Maybe, but it's how I felt at the time. It's how a lot of people feel. But when you put how you feel out for everybody to see, then you open yourself up to be ridiculed by those who don't agree with you. And then you also open yourself up to be piled on by everyone else. I've made no bones about this for several years. I've really not wavered from this a whole heck of a lot. Shane Beamer needs to be gone. Why he is still the coach at the University of South Carolina it's not mind-boggling because it's pretty much what I expected, but it really pisses me off. It pisses me off. These people down there, they're scared to change because there's a lot of coach openings out there right now, and we're not going to be at the head of the table. Okay, you're not going to be at the head of the table, but you can definitely have a seat at that table. I had some dolt on some YouTube channel yesterday that he runs that I was bickering back and forth with, telling me that Stanford and Arkansas were better jobs than South Carolina. I can make an argument, I guess, that Arkansas may be on par with South Carolina, but Stanford in the ACC, who gets, I don't even know what the ratio of TV money at Stanford would get compared to South Carolina, what the ratio of fan support is there. It's just a dumb statement. It was just a dumbass statement. I didn't even at the end, after I argued back and forth with him a little bit, once he said that, I was out. I just didn't even participate in the argument anymore. You can't. There are some people that there's no point in arguing with them because they're just not worth your time. Someone who makes a statement like that is just not worth your time, and obviously should not even be running a college football YouTube channel, which I told him that. But then I get things like this too, and hear me out. Here, go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Yeah, so I get those, and I had made the statement the other night that I didn't really think that there was anybody out there who's really openly supporting Beamer at this point, other than perhaps they're inside the program, but apparently there are. This individual told me, if you went on ahead and read that I needed to take a pill. Okay, what kind of pill? I mean, what, an aspirin? I mean, what kind of pill you want me to take? Blood pressure pill? I wasn't angry the other day when I made the video. That was in my normal video. That was in response to the video I put up Sunday. We beat Clemson a couple of times. We made it to a good bowl game last year. That, in a nutshell, is a large majority of the supporters of this program. That is a large majority of what's wrong with this program. You've got too many people like that that could be someone who's a donor. That could be someone who's donating some major money to the program. I don't know. But in their mind, and it could just be some schmuck. In their mind, beating Clemson, that's good enough because now I've got some bragging rights. So now I can laugh at my buddy at the job site who's a Tater fan, or I can laugh at my in-laws at Thanksgiving or Christmas because Christmas comes after Thanksgiving, doesn't it? At Christmas because we beat the Taters this year, That's all a lot of these people care about. That's not the world we live in if you want to make it to the college football playoff. We've seen that. I saw another ding-a-ling on a comment section of a video put out by one Christopher Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. And I know a lot of y'all don't like him. You know, as you know, he was the Gamecock guy who did the Spurs Up show, had a podcast. He did some stuff over here on YouTube too for the Gamecocks for a number of years. And a lot of people don't like him because of, I don't know. I don't really know why. There was some drama surrounding him in Columbia at one point in time. I don't really know exactly what happened. I do know he's made some off-color remarks before, but hey, I mean, I've done some off-color things before myself. Leg dropping and my television and my pants falling down around my ass crack on Saturday afternoon. That's off-color. That's about as off-putting as you can get. So none of us are above that. None of us are perfect. And even I didn't agree with all the takes that he had when he was a Gamecock, when he was invested in the Gamecocks, before he started the SEC Unfiltered deal where he covers the whole conference. But he put out a video last night about the same subject that I'm on here with the whole Shane Beamer routine. And, you know, he got some comments on it, one of which was, oh, you used to be a Gamecock, Chris. Boo. Okay. But the cherry on top was one comment there that said, Chris, we made the playoffs last year. Okay, that's news to me. We made the playoffs last year, but Gene Autry, the head of the officiating crew, kept us out of the playoffs. They're talking about that LSU game again, with the whole we got screwed by the referee deal. No, you didn't. That was another one, and that one was kind of before we actually saw the pattern, really, of what we do under Shane Beamer. That was another epic collapse. 17-point lead blown in a loss to LSU. And not even a good LSU team at that. A Brian Kelly LSU team that went to some mediocre Texas Bowl and beat Baylor. 3 times this year. 3 times. Twice on the road, once at home, this team has went into the fourth quarter with leads. You led games against Mizzou and Alabama, and most recently you led the game against Texas A&M going into the fourth quarter, and you can't figure out a way to win. Your team quits on you. They quit in the second half. There is a problem with that. Whether it's scheme, whether it's motivation, whether it's play calling, whether it's a combination of all the above, I don't know what it is. But we can see that you have the ability, and you have had the ability to assemble talent and get a team motivated to play a game, to start a game. Because you're getting out to these leads, you're beating these teams, you're winning these games. That doesn't, I mean, if you're a Steven Stencher, I mean, you're just getting blown out every game, and then we just go on to the house and go to practice next week, and then we go out and get our ass kicked again. But that's not, you're winning a lot of these games. And then we just blow it. We just fall apart. It's, you cannot justify, you can't justify keeping a guy like that around. You can't justify it. They've made coaching changes over the years down here that some of them have worked out, some of them ain't. The basketball coaching change a few years ago, they moved on from Frank Martin. It kind of shocked me a little bit. I wasn't expecting that. That kind of came out of left field. He actually had a winning record when they replaced him. To that point, they don't do things like that in South Carolina. That's not normal. There had to be something there internal. I don't know what it was. Maybe someone else can speculate on that. There was something internal with that deal to let him go. And I don't know if that one's going to work out or not. It hasn't worked out great. You've had 2 absolutely abysmal seasons and 1 really, really good season. Since then. So letting Shane Beamer go, I'm not going to say that you're going to turn around and win 10 games the next year. But the whole, who are we going to get? Who are we going to get that's any better? We're going to be way down the pecking order. Blah, blah, blah. This whole loser mentality it's like nails on the chalkboard to me. Who are you going to get? A brilliant caller the other night on the Rob and Kale show had the theory that, we live in a nation of 360 million individuals. Somewhere within that 360 million individuals resides a football coach who can not be 7 games under 500 in SEC play through 5 years of play. Okay? You sound ridiculous when you say things like that. It's just an excuse. It's just an excuse because you're scared to take a leap of faith. You're scared to think outside the box. You're scared to do anything other than just try to meet the status quo, which is beating Clemson. Just beating Clemson, that's the status quo, isn't it? Just going to a bowl game, that's the status quo. That's the status quo. You live in the transfer portal and NIL era. You can pay players. You can buy a roster now. You can buy a roster. You can get good players. Go out and get somebody else to coach them, please. I've heard a lot of smoke that if he loses to Coastal, he'll probably be gone. Does it really take that? Does it really take that hitting the bottom of the barrel just that much harder to lose to an in-state group of 5? An in-state group of 5, that it takes that to realize that we need to move on. Blowing multiple 2-score leads isn't enough. Blowing leads against ranked teams, to which if you were able to beat them would significantly change the trajectory of your season. That's not enough. That's not enough. The multiple outbursts in the press conferences, the ridiculous behavior in front of the television cameras, that's not enough. I don't know. I don't get it anymore. I don't get it anymore. Anyway, I've about lost my energy on this guy. I've just about gotten to the point where it's like dealing with a kid, that just won't listen, like a teenager that just won't listen. You talk to them, you discipline them, nothing works, and you're just blue in the face until you just kind of give up. You're like, I gotta give up. We're just gonna let you make your own way, and you're gonna make your own mistakes. You're gonna screw your life up, and then you're gonna have to try to pick up the pieces. That's almost at the point where I'm at. It's just the apathetic, sad state of being a South Carolina Gamecocks football fan right now, of being really passionate, of being not the guy. I want to see this for myself. I want to see them win a championship or go to the playoffs even, or at least go to Atlanta and compete for an SEC championship. I want that memory. I want to see that. I want that memory. That's something I want to see as a fan. I want to see it. I want to cherish it. It's not beating Clemson so I can laugh at one of my buddies. That's not what I want. And until the entire fan base feels that way and decides to be apathetic as well, then we're never going to be able to lay the groundwork to get where we need to go. That's about all I got to say about that, guys. I got to get off here. It's almost time to get started with work. Got a busy day in front of me, which is always a good thing. But I will see you all later on, guys. I appreciate you. Peace, and I'm out of here. Still, go Gamecocks. Woo!